This episode is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, the #1 seller of games and gaming accessories. And GatheringMagic.com, the #1 resource for Magic the Gathering news and articles.
Hi, I'm Jason, and this is my Talrand the Sky Summoner deck. Hey guys, this is my Talrand the Sky Summoner deck. Basically what he does is whenever you play an instant or sorcery spell, you put a 2/2 blue Drake creature token with flying onto the battlefield. So I kind of wanted to make a deck that abused this mechanic a little bit. So it's a lot of like cantripping, counterspelling, that type of deal. Only one non-basic land in the deck, Reliquary Tower, just in case I have too many cards in my hand, I have no maximum hand size. And then I have 36 basic islands. Just a couple enchantments in here, Leyline of Anticipation, because it helps to turn your sorceries into instances, and same with your creatures, just in case you want to use like Ponder or something at an instant speed to help get a Drake out to block or something like that. Coastal Piracy is really good with this deck because if you have like a lot of Dragon or Drake tokens out, it just makes them all draw engines when they deal damage to a player. Got a couple artifacts in here. Vedalken Orrery, same thing, just turning my sorceries or creatures into instances. Gauntlet of Power to make my Drake tokens a little bit bigger and to also help me have more mana to cast a couple of bigger spells that I have in the deck. Same with Cage Sun. Only with this one you don't help out other blue players. Not a giant creature package because you usually want to use your general to get most of the creatures out, but Mnemonic Wall is really good to get back either an extra turn card or a counter spell, anything that you might need to get the job done. Same thing with Archaeomancer. Snapcaster Mage, really good just because it can flashback. Instead of getting it back like the other two, this one I can just cast it right then when I need it, if it's a counter spell or something like that. Consecrated Sphinx, just an amazing draw engine on a creature. Erayo, in this deck it's really easy to cast a bunch of spells in a turn, so she's easy to flip, and she makes your job a little bit easier. You don't have to worry about countering so many things. So it's really good once you can get her activated. Kira, also really good. You know, if people try to target your Talrand and things like that, this helps to, ward off like removal spells and things like that. Lunar Mystic, since you're playing a lot of cheap like cantrips and things like that, he allows you to draw through your deck because it just makes all of them cost only one extra. To draw, so it kind of makes them double draw on most of your instances, or it makes your counter spells have draw on them. Teferi, just another way to help make your turns a little bit easier, not having to worry about other people. Now we're on to the sorceries. We got quite a bit in here. Time Stretch, take extra turns. Sometimes the extra turn cards really help just to help seal the wins with all your Drake tokens out, so you can kill multiple people. So we have Time Stretch, Beacon of Tomorrows, Ponder. Just look at the top three cards. If you don't like any, you can shuffle your library and then draw a card. Another extra turn, Walk the Aeons. Rite of Replication, either to help kill a general or copy a really good creature out on the board, and if you have enough mana, get multiple copies of them. And Time Warp, Knowledge Exploitation. A lot of people do run the extra turn cards, so either you can get that out of their library, so that they're not going to be using it against you. Ancestral Vision, draw cards. Mystic Speculation, is really nice. If you can get enough mana out, you can kind of draw to the win, because you can just scry. If you don't like any of the cards that you got with the buyback, you can just get a bunch of drakes out, and then you just scry, tuck all the cards until you get to like an extra turn card or whatever you need to seal the win. Preordain, scry 2, draw. The probe, just to look at people's hands, but it's cantrip, really cheap, so gets you a Drake, refills your hand. Call to mind, get instant or sorcery back to your hand. Recurring Insight, draw cards equal to the number amount and target opponent's hand, and the rebound's really nice just to keep your hand full of cantrips, counterspells, whatever you're looking for. This card, just another cantrip. You look at the top 3 cards of target player's library, then either shuffle that library or put those 3 cards on the top of the library in any order. Draw a card at the beginning of your next upkeep. So, just another way to manipulate the top of your library. This one, you just look at the top 2, put one of them in your hand and the other one on the bottom. It's a simple draw, scry 2. Okay, now into the instances. Thought Scour is really nice, especially against like the tutors like Vampiric, Enlightened, Worldly. So they put the cards they want on top, and then you can just make them put it into the graveyard. Waste of a tutor. Twin Cast. If someone's trying to take an extra turn, or sometimes you just need to ramp, and they play a Boundless Realms or some sort of ramp spell, and then you get one too, which is really nice. Helps speed you up. Reach Through the Mist, draw a card. Oops. Peek, another instant, look at target player's hand, draw a card. Brainstorm, it's really great. Visions of Beyond, draw a card. If your graveyard has 20 or more cards in it, draw 3 cards instead. So either just a draw or draw a lot. Capsize, and here's another card with buyback, so you can constantly get the drakes out with this card. Wipe Away, if you can't deal with a certain permanent, get it out of there without anyone trying to counter it. Obsessive Search, draw a card. If someone makes you discard, you get to play it from out of your hand for its madness cost. Leap, nothing special. Target creature gains flying. Draw a card. Whispers of the Muse, same thing. Just simple draw a card, but for 5 you can buy it back. So depending on your mana, you can keep doing it, or just add into turn, draw a card, get a Drake, and then buy it back so that you can do something else on your turn. Gust, you return 2 islands to your hand rather than pay its cost, which is really nice, and then you draw 2 cards. So this helps you, never miss a land drop. Opt, look at the top card of your library and put that card on the bottom if you want, and then draw a card. Frantic Search is nice because it untaps your land, so it allows you to multiple cantrip, or be ready to counter something if need be with the open mana. Cyclonic Rift, really good for EDH. For 2, it just returns a permanent that you don't control your owner's hand, but if the board gets out of control, you can just bounce everyone's non-land permanents to their owner's hand, and you get to keep your board, which is really nice. Especially if you've built up a mass army of Drake tokens, you really don't want to lose that, because then you have to start over. Think Twice, just draw a card with a flashback. Shadow Rift, target creature gains shadow, draw a card. High Tide just doubles up your mana, allows you to get multiple spells in a turn, get multiple Drakes out. Mystical Tutor, search for any of this good stuff in here. Now we're getting this is kind of the counter sort of package. These 2 counter activated or triggered abilities. This one you don't draw a card, but it is split second, so that really helps in certain situations. And then this one, you get to draw a card. Alright, now counter spells. Dismiss, counter draw, hinder, tuck something on the bottom of their library. Faerie Trickery, I really like this one. I don't really see a lot of other people playing it, but if it's a non-fairy, which I haven't run into too many fairy spells, but if it's non-fairy, you remove it from the game, which is really nice. So you don't ever have to worry about it again. Same with Dissipate, exile it, rewind to help untap your land so that you can either counter something else or play another spell and get another Drake. Dream Fracture, draws you a card. Counter spell, Spell Crumple, which is nice because it's reusable. If you ever get to draw back into it. Foils, just sometimes you can't pick, like sometimes you just do tap out, and this is a really nice way to be able to counter stuff if you're tapped out. Remand just puts the spell back into your hand. You get to draw a card, so hopefully you can draw into something where you can deal with it later. Discombobulate, you get to manipulate the top 4 cards of your library, which is nice after a counter. And then finally we have a Cryptic Command with 4 different options. Bounce a permanent, counter spell, draw a card, or tap down all opponent's creatures. Either one you choose is they're all really good. Probably one of the best counters out there.
Thank you for watching CMDR Decks. Please subscribe and favorite.